Episode 60 of the Geek Week in Review. We're going to talk about stuff like we always do because that's what we do on the Geek Week in Review. It rhymes.
The Geek Week in Review.
Hello and welcome back to the Geek Week in Review, episode 60 with me, Jacob's Toys, of course, the wonderful one and only SuperSorrell, and our good friend Ryan Speaks Geek, who has just poisoned himself by the looks of things. As always, check the website below, geekweekinreview.co.uk. All the socials are over there, so go give us a follow on our individual channels, and of course, the show itself as well. And if you're listening on podcast, hello, we love you. Right, episode 60. I'm back in the UK. I'm back in my little room, in my studio, whatever you want to call it. I actually missed this room. I'm not going to lie. When I came in after I came back after holiday, and I was expecting loads to have fallen down, and there'd be like a cat living in the corner or something. I don't know. But I kind of came in. I was like, oh, I do miss it. I miss it. So,
thank God, homeless Bob was still there under the desk.
That's it. He's still there. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool to be away. Great show last week. But we've all done our holidays now. I think we've all been away, haven't we?
I don't know. Ash is probably going to go. Oh wait, I'm actually going to Disneyland again for 50th time next week. In 5 days.
I think you are, aren't you? You did
January. January. I go back.
I saw it. I saw your TikTok.
I'm not doing this anymore. It's not fair.
I saw your TikTok and I was like, if I know Sorrell, this is genuine. This isn't just a video for likes and views and stuff. And I was like, I'm not even going to question him on it because it's probably genuine. But yeah. So I was really disappointed though. There was no in Croatia where I was. I did say to you guys briefly, but there was no kind of like knockoff toys. There was no counterfeit toys. I was really trying to kind of like trump. Yeah, I was trying to trump the mall. I really was.
The Mulliverse of Madness. You can't beat that. So he's now the mascot of the show. He's going to be secretly in every episode, whether you realise it or not. And if you don't see him, it's just because he's in your dreams.
What you need to do is you need to ship him to all of us, and he'll appear in each one of our backdrops.
My only concern with that is that clearly the postal workers will see the value in such an item and steal it, because that's what I'm worried about. Obviously, this is a high-end collector's item. It goes like Sideshow Toys and then Multiverse of Madness collectible. It's right up there.
I'd be more concerned that he wouldn't make the journey. He would just turn up as like dust, But no. So there was a little bit more happening this week than there was last week. It was a very quiet week last week, as you guys said, because post San Diego Comic-Con. But there has been a few more things happening. So let's just jump straight into it. Prey. Landed on Disney Plus for us over here in the UK, Hulu for any of our American listeners.
Landed, Alien, I get it, nice.
Yeah. I did that. It's about 20 minutes to come up with that pun, so thank you very much. Yeah. So for any of our American listeners that aren't familiar, our Disney Plus platform actually has another option on it called Star, and that's where we get all of our Walking Dead, things like Predator, and we get all the stuff that you guys get on kind of Hulu, we get as part of our Disney Plus platform. So we really do get a value for our money. You've got all the Marvel
Disney
shows.
Plus, we get better Disney Plus. Yours sucks. Ours is awesome. Deal with it.
It is
Take that, America.
In all fairness, though, I remember having a chat with one of my friends over there, and they were like, "Oh yeah, Deadpool's come in, and Daredevil," and I was like, "We've had that for months, mate. Like that has been on our. I've watched all of the Netflix." But yeah, so let's jump straight in. Prey, which is the prequel to Predator. I love it. I'm not gonna lie.
It was great, and here's a fun little fact. So if you haven't seen it, I'm going to do a little spoiler warning. That's a spoiler warning. Why not? So right at the end of the film, there is a weapon, and if you look at when it does, it's sort of zoom off the weapon. The weapon is the one that is awarded to Danny Glover's character in Predator 2. At the very end of Predator 2, he's awarded a weapon for beating the Predator from the Predator Elder, and that's the gun is the one that's in the Prey.
What the
pistol? The pistol is the pistol that's awarded to Danny Glover's character in Predator 2 at the end.
I did wonder whether there was a tie-in because they give like a real shot. But there was a shot where they really show you all the engravings and everything, and I was like, there has to be a reason for that.
Yep, that's it. So it links it is. So no one can say it's not part of the universe now because it is very much part of it. Because that's a pretty slap in the face way of going. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. What did you think, Sorrel?
I didn't even look for links, to be honest, this time around, to be honest. I just sat and enjoyed it for what it was. I enjoyed this Predator film. This is probably my favourite ones they've done for a while. I mean, the last one with the kid was all right, but I enjoyed this one a lot more. This one felt like a return to sort of like proper Predator movies.
So what have we got now? We've got Predator with Schwarzenegger.
We've got Predator, Predator 2.
Whoa, take that words out of your mouth, sir. There's never such thing as too many.
So hang on. So Arnold Schwarzenegger Predator, Danny Glover Predator 2,
Predators.
2.
Then, with Adrian Brody. Adrian confused looking Brody. Then we got The Predator, and then we've got Prey. But technically, you've also got Alien vs Predator and Alien vs Predator Requiem as a spin-off.
I don't count those two.
I do because I actually think they're good.
I don't count them as anything. That's just like It's like a Jason versus Freddy. It's fun. It's enjoyable. You don't. It's like a hookup, a one night stand hookup. Like you had fun. Oh, no. It was enjoyable at the time, but we don't.
No, we talked about crossovers last time.
Don't go on to Freddy vs. Jason. I could talk all day about that because that is canon because of the claw in the Jason Goes to Hell movie. It's all tied in.
Exactly.
But you know what? I forgot about The Predator. I completely forgot about The Predator. I think Predators is one of my favorites. That's definitely.
Is that the one with Stone Cold Steve Austin?
No. No. That's the one with Adrian Brody. Which one's the one with Stone Cold Steve Austin? That's The Predator, isn't it?
Any of them?
No, he's not.
It? Which is the one I'm thinking of?
So.
The one where they're all on the island and they get killed off one by one. And they're from Fast and Furious, isn't it?
Austin isn't on it.
Is it not?
No.
Oh. What film am I thinking of?
Sorry, are you saying
WWE?
All white bald men look the same? That's such a racist comment to make.
Stone Cold Vin Diesel. Fast and the Curious. Coming soon.
I got one beer. I got two beers. What?
I got one beer for me, one for my family. Topher Grace was in it. I mean, clearly you got confused between Topher Grace and Stone Cold Steve Austin. That might have been where you got mixed up.
Adrian Brody, Topher Grace, Alicia Braga, Walton Goggins,
Lawrence Fishburne,
Danny Trejo. He's probably like Danny Trejo, something stupid that I've thought of, and then somehow connected it to Stone Cold. Yeah. There was a film based on an island where people kill each other off one by one, and Stone Cold was in that, and I'm getting the two confused.
The Hunger Games.
I'm sure.
Let's see.
I'm Katniss Evergreen.
Katniss Evergreen. What?
I'm the tribute.
It was the Hunger Games. No, it's the Thunder Games. Oh.
But
just stood in front of that guy just stood in front of that woman who's deciding who goes in. What?
Yeah. What? But Predators is one of my favorites. Just 'cause I like the mix up. I like the changing kind of pace and everything. But this as a film, it's what?
Sorry, the film I was thinking of was called The Condemned. Completely different movie, ignore me.
That is a very different movie.
Like a very different film. Yeah.
But that is a movie where they're all on an island and they're all trying to get off. It's a similar.
Now I want to see Stone Cold versus the Predator.
That'd be good. But I think as far as Prey goes, I'd put this up as one of my favorites. I really would. I just think it had all those elements of the original where like Arnie was fighting the Predator kind of back to basics and all that kind of stuff. My one critique with it though is that they all spoke English.
One-liners, yeah.
No, it was the way they all spoke English. That really broke it for me because...
Did you pick up on when it went to the Predator's vision, they weren't speaking English? Did you pick up on that? As soon as they went to Predator's vision, he couldn't understand what they were saying. It was like some gobbled up language. So like I took that as they are obviously speaking whatever they're speaking, but obviously for us to make it easier to speak in English. But I would hate the whole film being subtitles, to be honest.
But see, I don't know. Personally, did you ever see Apocalypto?
Yeah,
I would be fine with seeing the whole thing in its native language. Like, because I agree with Jake, is an immersion to that you sort of lose when they all start talking English.
But for me, with Apocalypto, when I first put it on, I was like, oh man, like I don't understand what they're saying. I'm gonna have to read it. But 10, 15 minutes into the film, I was engrossed, and it was like an amazing film. And I just think that if they had done that with this, there wasn't a huge amount of talking, realistically, was there? And yeah, I don't know. That was my only critique, because when the French guys were there, they were all speaking French, weren't they? So
Yeah.
obviously to hey, but to tie into the fact that obviously she couldn't understand French, and yeah, I don't know, but I just thought it was really cool, and I love the look of the Predator as well. Like there was something really primal about it, and
The Shaman Predator. This one was called. It was the Shaman Predator.
Yeah, it's
okay,
like a juvenile, isn't it? It's like one on its first hunt.
Well, the all are all the ones we've seen in these films technically are juveniles, aren't they? Because they're on pilgrimage.
yeah, I want a figure of this one. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Oh, there will be.
NECA have already got it. It's already coming out. It's in stock with props and replicas. Just a little
Would have
version.
said Eagle Moss will make one, but obviously not anymore.
Not anymore, yeah. But yeah, there is the figure already out, and it looks awesome. It comes with like a cloak and everything. It looks so good.
When is it out? I'm actually just looking at
Props and replicas.co.uk has got it out right now, $42.95.
But you can literally buy that right now.
Right now, and it's in stock with kapowtoys.co.uk, which is where I'm headed right now.
That's what I'm
just to
at.
clarify, we are not sponsored by either of those companies, just because that sounded like an advert. It wasn't meant to be. That's just coincidental and a fact that they are in stock at those places. But again, we are not sponsored. Unless they are watching it and want to sponsor, then I will give you a shot. That's how it works. Science.
I'm literally looking it up now. Predator 2, Predator 2, Predator 2, Predator 2, Predator 2.
But,
I mean, to be fair, you do have to be careful, because I got mine off Wish.com. I mean, it's pretty close. Like the face sculpt is a bit off, but like, other than that, I'm pretty happy with it. It was 3 pence, so so Wish.com. Just be careful what you order.
Yeah, its estimated arrival is October. So it's not out right now, but it's available to pre-order. NECA Predator 2 Ultimate Shaman. So if you just put Predator Shaman in, SHAMAN.
I love that we're genuinely sorting out an order.
Hello. Great, isn't it?
Now, if you like, have you put it in your cart, sir? Yeah, like we turned into customer services. What's happened?
Hang on, but that's Predator 2.
Yeah, but it's the Shaman Predator. That's the one from this film. The Shaman Predator.
Yeah, but I don't want that one. I want this. I want the mask that I saw in this film. I don't want this mask.
You're gonna wait a long time then. This is the one that is like the closest one, basically.
Yeah, but that's like telling me to order an Iron Man because I want Spider-Man. You totally misled me here, Sorrell.
They all come under Predator 2 because that's what they're currently working on.
No.
What, Predator 2? No. Oh, you mean what? As in like the Danny Glover film?
Yeah, they all come under Predator 2 right now. All of them come under the Predator 2 banner.
Why?
I don't know. They just do. If you look at if you just go around the shop at them and looking at them, all of them come under Predator 2 right now. It's just the one they're currently working on. Shaman Predator was the one from this film.
But I want that mask that you had and the massive
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait for that because NECA are gonna then bleed you dry and give you the second one later on. It's a bit like Marvel do. Same thing. NECA
Yeah, I'll wait. But
it's like when they gave us the NECA. They gave us the NECA version of Frankenstein, then a black and white version, then a color version, and then they gave us a version with handcuffs, one with flowers. So they released so many different variants. It's ridiculous.
I think my favorite was Pennywise from the new It films, and it was
thousands of them.
Here's Pennywise. Ah, brilliant. And here's Pennywise with a different head. Oh, excellent. Here's Pennywise with a different head and another hand. Is that what? Here's Pennywise with a balloon. And people bought them all. But no, as a film, I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I really did. No, I don't know. I just had such high expectations for it. I really wanted it to land, and it really did. It really did. I'd give it a solid 10 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. And there were so many little things that you saw as well, like I can't remember seeing the way that they kind of froze the skull and all the flesh comes off of it. I can't remember seeing that in another film. I might be mistaken.
Yeah, they've done it in a couple of them, but this one was a different way. It was weird because in some ways it was more graphic, in some ways it wasn't. If that makes sense. Yeah. It wasn't they didn't fully commit to an R rating type thing, which I think would be my one thing. I would still quite like to see a proper R-rating, like R-rated Predator movie. So this for me was like an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it, but there was a couple of things I would have changed in it. One of them actually was genuinely the language. I agree with you. And I just, like I said, it sort of half did and half didn't commit to the sort of the sort of adult tone to it. They either go for it or just hold back a bit. But it just seemed to do one bit, but some of the CGI on a couple of bits, I was just a bit like took me out of it.
Shall I tell you what I really liked? The reason I really liked it is because it kind of, as a modern film, it did what the original films did and original kind of monster films did. And that's that they didn't show you the Predator until like the third act, maybe.
Yeah.
You just saw it slightly cloaked or the blood dripping on it or something like that. And they didn't kind of give you that money shot straight away. They made you wait for it. And that's why I think I enjoyed it. I think that's what kept me hooked, because I knew that the Predator was going to look different. And I really wanted to see it. And I was expecting to see the same kind of Predator that I was used to. So it was kind of a payoff when it was slightly different looking and everything. So, yeah.
Yeah, totally agree. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. I give it a solid 8 out of 10. Which I had a couple of minor, minuscule nitpicks, but I will be watching it again plenty of times. My major gripe was I didn't get to see it in the cinema. My biggest piss-off point is I had to watch it for the first time on Disney Sodding Plus. I want to go and see a film in the place where they show films, the cinema.
Right,
I don't want to watch a play for the first time on but I know it's going to be the future now where they're going to be like, everything's going to be going on to stream at the same time, but it just annoys me because it's like, it's not the same experience. And I really think that film, with all the tracking shots, the bit where it's all quiet and stuff like that, that would have been the absolute nuts on the big screen, bless you, with all like the huge sort of stuff going on. Like, oh no, you did, but I can lip read sneezes. What weird skill. But that was the one thing. Again, I really wish I could have seen that in the cinema. And if they do like a cinema showing of it at some point, I would definitely go and see it. There was all those, because the bits where it was like suspenseful, where it was all the tracking and stuff like that, and it was all quiet, and then you heard like the sort of things, and I was like, that would be awesome with the surround sound and the proper environment in a big dark cinema, But yeah, I know this is the new way of doing things, but I'm still that's my major complaint. I didn't get to see it in the cinema.
I think they need to re-release the song "Video Killed the Radio Star," but change the lyrics to "Streaming Killed the Cinema Star." Because it's the way forward. Like, things are. You've only got to look as well that how many big films are going straight to Netflix and Prime and all those kind of things.
I don't think it's the end of cinema at all. I think it will always be hybrid. I don't think you'll ever get rid of cinema though, because there are too many films that are made for, like Tom Cruise, for example. Top Gun. He flat out refused to sell it to any streamers and said it will only be in cinemas for a long time.
Yeah. I completely do agree. But what I mean is that I think that the cinema is changing. I think that the cinema is going to need to adapt and evolve.
I think our generation is the last generation to enjoy the cinema, mate.
But that's it. I don't. It will be
going forward. All the kids stream and they watch online. Yeah. They don't go to the cinema.
No.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree.
Cinema's like our generational thing. It's like we remember going to the cinema. We're nostalgic for it. That's how we appreciate films. However, the new generation don't see it that way. They'd rather watch it on the mobile phone in bed. So
yeah. No, I don't agree. I think there's a big. I agree. There's a big shift in it, but I don't think it's as dead as everyone keeps making out. Because actually, I go to a lot of showings, and there are a lot of young people still in the cinema still.
I don't think
it's over. No, it will be obviously it will be a hybrid model, and there'll be the majority of things will go to streamers, but you'll have your big super releases. It'll be more a case of like big releases come out to cinema, but I still think that cinema's not going anywhere. Because the other thing is things like when you get to October, people want to go to the cinema to see horror films, even if it's reruns of old ones. People want to go to the cinema to see a horror film.
But when you say people, you're talking about our generation. Like, you really are.
Genuinely, no, I'm not being in. Not in a horror way. I go to the cinema way more than both of you. It's like, a lot of the retro showings, a lot of the new showings, and it's not just our generation. It's actually a lot of the time, it's a mix of beyond me and much below me, 18, 16 to 18-year-olds in some of these, but definitely younger, some of them, and like clearly they don't ID people at the Odeon. But I really don't think it's dead.
My prediction is that it won't die, but a lot will close. It will be one of them things that they won't be able to sustain having multiple cinemas open in multiple towns and stuff like that, because it will be an event. It will be something that's planned. And I think that unfortunately the big players, like you take Disney for example, with Star Wars and Marvel, like they're easily two of the biggest kind of cinema franchises, aren't they? But because they put out the content that's direct to stream, so things like the MCU TV shows, the Star Wars TV shows and stuff like that, they're not going to go to cinema. They're going to stay on the streaming platform, and therefore when a
TV show
comes out, no, I know, but there isn't a difference when a film comes out. Like it's all just there. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what's going to kill a lot of it. I think it won't die completely, but my prediction is that we'll see cinemas closing, and it will become more of an event as opposed to a rite of passage.
So the one that you can look at to kind of judge it on is the new Lightyear movie. So the Lightyear movie made 54 million around the world at box office, which is nothing for a film. That is bad. Yeah. However, Disney made 107 billion the day it came onto the streaming service because of the amount of people that repurchased their Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And you can't necessarily say that's all to do with Lightyear, but it was the day that the film came onto stream. Millions of people tuned in to watch it at home that didn't go to the cinema and pay for it.
No, but then it's also because you don't have to wait for it anymore. That's as much the studio's fault. They would make more money in the cinemas if it was actually exclusively in the cinemas for longer, because you go, I actually have to wait like 4 or 5 months to go get this on DVD or see it on the streamer. But now they're like, it's in the cinema, but we'll also announce that we're going to put it on the streamer in just 3 weeks. So if you don't worry about going to the cinema and paying money for it, just stay home and wait 3 weeks.
Here's a real throwback. Throwback that shows my age, right? So I remember when I stayed out in America. So I was out there for however many months, and I'd come back for a couple of months in between. And I remember buying a region-free DVD player for my house. And for any youngsters listening, a region-free DVD player essentially meant that I could play DVDs from around the world at the comfort of my own home. And I would
That's still a big thing with Blu-rays, by the way.
But I would buy my DVDs. I'd buy my DVDs in America of the films that have been in the cinema and left the cinema, but weren't out yet on DVD in the UK. So I'd go home with these DVDs and have like watch parties and stuff, because I'd have these films on DVD legally that weren't even on DVD in the shop. And it was like mad, absolute madness. Whereas nowadays it's just stream everything. So fuck you, cinema.
What?
I know Jacob will agree with me on this thing. So like one of the reasons I don't go to the cinema as often as I used to do is because the cost of it. Plus nowadays my daughter likes to come with me, and then my wife comes. Then before you know where we're at, it's cost us over 30 quid. Then it costs you another extra 10 or 20 quid on popcorn, sweets, ice creams, because the kids want that. You can't not give them it when they go. So you end up spending 40 quid for like 2 hours outing. No, but you know what I mean, though. It's hard to do that when you've got a 7-year-old that wants the pick and mix or wants the popcorn, or you know what I mean. It's hard to do that. So you kind of go to cinema and spend a lot of money, but then Amazon have got Jurassic Park Dominion for 15 quid, and I can buy it. So I'm like, do I spend 30 quid at the cinema, or do I just spend 15 at home? And you choose the home option.
or if you look at Disney Plus as a streaming site, so you go to the cinema for one outing. And say, for example, you don't buy the sweets and popcorn and stuff, you're still paying 30, 40 quid for stuff. Yeah. That's a couple of months worth of just like streaming services. So I justify having Disney Plus, Netflix, Amazon Prime. You've now got Paramount Plus, you've got Apple TV Plus. Like there's like big players out there, and they all have their own content. But I justify having Disney, Netflix, and Prime because I don't go to the cinema as much. And I actually added it up, and I'm like, you know what? If I don't go to the cinema for 2 months, I can pay for those 3 things for the year. Like it's ridiculous. But I don't want the cinema to completely go, because I do like taking my kids to the cinema and stuff. I do enjoy that. But speaking of Lightyear, did you guys watch it?
I haven't seen Lightyear yet. I need to sit down and watch it. I watched Prey and I've watched the Lego so far. I need to watch like.
I tried to watch the Lego holiday thing, and I'll be honest, I couldn't get into it. I actually didn't finish it. I just got a bit like I don't know. I didn't find myself laughing that much, and I just really couldn't get into it. I'll try and get back into it maybe another time, but I know Sammy enjoyed the last one. You know, the Spooky Tales one we had, the Halloween one. I thought that was okay, but I just didn't. I tried to get into this one, I just couldn't.
Sorry,
tell us your thoughts. No, you tell us your thoughts, Sorrell, because I'm going to think. I feel that you loved it.
Well, I did enjoy the story, but I enjoyed I did enjoy the story because the story was a bit all over the place. But I liked the fact that they used the Chandrilla star, the starship and stuff from Florida. Thought that was a nice touch, and they actually include like all the food was like genuine food you can buy. So like all the things, all the things he was carrying.
If it's the Halcyon or whatever, it's anything to do with Galaxy's Edge. Ash is sorted. I could go like, look at my underwear. They're stained, but look, they got the Halcyon on, and Ash was like, yeah.
So like Ronto wraps is a thing. The cream puff thing you mentioned, that's a thing you can buy. All the things they were like showing you are genuinely real. It felt like, for me, because I know it felt like one big advert for Galaxy's Edge, that thing. I'm surprised they didn't land on Batuu, because I think it's just because people know the other places. They don't know what Batuu is really. So I was really surprised they didn't actually dock at Batuu or something. But it felt like one big advert for Disney's Starship, to be fair.
I lost interest when Ray had like a really common accent.
Yeah, when they gave Ray the weirdest accent on the planet, like Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah, she did have a proper. I don't know what I'm doing here.
I'm gonna go sit by the pool.
Why am I on this ship? I want to have a holiday. Like, it's kind of like, use the Force. Like, it was like, I was like, what are you doing to Ray? Like, did she lose a bet or something? Like, it's like,
As soon as I heard that voice, I couldn't help myself. As soon as I heard that voice, I was like, oh, right, Mary Poppins.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Hello, Mary Poppins.
I'm Al the Snow. Bullshit.
I'll tell you what.
Comedy fans out there.
Have you seen the new Lego Advent calendars that have come out?
Yeah.
So they're coming out for this year. So they've got Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special one, which is a given because we're going to get the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Harry Potter still hanging on somehow. They do a Harry Potter calendar every year and people buy it. But then they had the Star Wars one. They have a Star Wars one every year as well. So it's always Marvel, Harry Potter, and Star Wars. But the Star Wars one this year, I did notice that C-3PO and R2-D2 had the sweaters on that they had in this holiday special, which I thought was a nice little touch because people are going to want that for those minifigures. But yeah, speaking of which, Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special has got to be coming soon, surely, hasn't it? That's like
at Christmas, I assume.
Is it actually at Christmas? Because I did find
it's the holiday special, so I'm assuming it's going to drop in December.
But that's what I thought was bizarre about this. Like, why did the Lego Star Wars, drop now in the middle of the summer for the holiday?
Summer holiday.
This one was a summer holiday vacation, wasn't it? It was a summer vacation.
Oh yeah, of course it is. And that's why
they made that. I thought you were going to make the joke then, because they made that joke in the actual film, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
C-3PO and that rock up in the jumpers, like not that holiday. Right.
But see, that's what I was thinking of, and I was thinking, like, hang on, that's how much I watched it. I was kind of like, I'm done now. Like, I'm done. But no, I mean, I to be honest with you, the Lego animations for me, the only ones that I've found myself really enjoying are the Jurassic World ones. Like the others, I find the others really hard to watch, and I don't know why the Jurassic World ones kind of work for me, but yeah, I find the others really hard to watch. Camp Cretaceous.
I was just speaking of the holiday calendars, by the way. Did you see? Sorry, speaking of holiday calendars, did you see the other ones that were announced by Funko? So they're doing a Christmas Pint-Sized Heroes Marvel one and a holiday special Star Wars one as well. So but all of the characters in it this time round are like holiday special ones. So like there's a load of gingerbread ones in there, Spider-Man with a Santa hat on, Groot as a Christmas tree. They're all really good ones this time. And in the Star Wars one, they've got like Darth Vader in red and green, and They've got like really like they've gone all out with it this time. Like every minifigure in it is like Christmas related.
Oh right. I've never, I haven't never done the Funko ones. I'm not gonna lie. I've done the Lego ones before for the kids and stuff, but yeah, I haven't
I've
done
done
the
Lego
Funko one.
and Playmobil for 2 years in a row because I did the 2 Back to the Future ones.
But
they were awesome.
Yeah, I've got to say though, this year I've got to give it to Jurassic World. Their calendar looks amazing. You build like little paddocks, and then you get little dinosaurs to put in the paddocks and stuff. It's completely nothing. Cool. It's nothing to do with Christmas. There's not a Christmas thing amongst it, but I just like all the little dinosaurs.
Jurassic World Advent Calendar.
Yeah,
Mattel.
I believe so.
Yeah, they've got the toy license. Oh wow.
Yeah,
it's on Smith's website. I saw it on Smith's.
That's a company, like I said, that knows what to do with their licenses. I'm very impressed with Mattel at the moment.
It's $29.99. It's cheaper than both. It's cheaper than the Funko ones.
It's 30 quid. So you get one. You'll get one gate. You get 8 like gates, like
so attach all together to make a big circle. Put them all in.
And you get a door, like another door as well, and then you get what 4, 8, 19 dinosaurs and a human.
That's a decent little calendar, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like when you look at the Lego ones, they're cool, but like some days you are building the most obscure mini builds ever on the planet.
The Lego ones, yeah.
I'd rather pay a little bit more money and just have minifigures in every door.
Yeah.
The mini builds after Christmas, then mini builds just go in my Lego box. They just go in the box full of bricks.
But once upon a time, there was more kind of things in it than there are now. That's why I kind of gave up on them because you get more mini builds that are just pointless. Then look at that! Look at the finished article.
Exactly. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, that is where my money's going this year.
That's 30 quid's worth.
Look at that little guy. Look at him. Look. That's really cool. And the door's open. Look, the doors of the gate. Oh, mate.
Oh, that's an easy purchase then.
Oh, and the bigger dinosaurs are articulated in their mouth.
This is actually like watching a kid at Christmas. This is kind of cute. Watching J.K. release.
No, look, the bigger dinosaurs are articulated in their mouth.
I know, but I feel like you're like the kid who's showing, like me and Ash, your parents, and you're showing us what your toy does at Christmas. Look, the mouth moves, Dad.
Dad, I need one. All my friends are going to have it. Whoa. Hang on. No, don't hang on. Like you can carry on, but I've just seen something that. Oh no. Okay, I just saw Jurassic World Dominion Epic as you may also like this, and it was 130 quid, but it's a playset. I thought it was like an epic, like an
epic
turbo calendar,
a grown-up calendar. Yeah. So, did you watch Camp Cretaceous while we're talking about Jurassic World?
I absolutely did. Now, I'm really happy if that ended.
Don't tell me the ending. Don't tell me the ending. I literally got to. I've got 2 episodes.
The ending is. Really good.
This was one of my favorite seasons. Like, apart from the first couple, this was definitely one of my favorites. Or is one of my favorites. Like, I want to see how it ends. So.
How many have you got? How many episodes you got left?
Like 2, I think. 1.5, 2. What are you building?
So I'm trying to. Huh? I was sorting out my posters.
Okay. Yeah, it's just very good.
I didn't know what was in it, so I started looking at it because it's me, and I get easily distracted. I'm always doing something on these videos. If I'm just sitting still, it's not right. People call in. Not that we have a phone number for the show, but it's a really good series. I love the character development. I'm trying to be really tactful about what I say in case I give anything away for like the last 2 episodes. So I enjoyed this show. It's really good. There we go. That is my spoiler-free review.
Did it end properly though? Are you pleased with the ending? Okay.
I genuinely am. I am. I'm content. I'm satisfied. But also, the interesting thing is a good, satisfying ending, but there is room for more.
Of course there is.
Not,
There's always room for more.
not in a cliffhangery way, but just that's all I can say because I'm definitely going to spoil something otherwise. So, but
I still haven't seen Dominion yet.
Me neither.
Yeah.
No.
I have.
I was waiting for it to come onto Amazon Prime. Then I went on holiday. I might watch it this week.
I went to that.
It's 15 quid, but you get to keep it. So.
Yeah. What is it to rent? Like 2 nights?
I don't know about renting, but it was literally the offer was there. It's part of that cinema at home thing that Amazon do. It's under that section, but like there's an option to buy, and it was $14.99, so I didn't think that was bad. That's how much you pay for a Blu-ray end of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the film in it. The other thing that dropped on Netflix this week was Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the last of that kind of iteration of the Turtles. I've not watched it yet, but I'm going to watch it, I think.
Is that the one where they've all got really very, very different body sizes? I couldn't get into that one. I liked the Nickelodeon one, the 3D animation one. I really enjoyed that. I quite liked the other 2D animation one, where it was also much darker. But this one I just couldn't really. I don't know. It just didn't really do it for me. I mean, I know it wasn't made for people like me, but I struggled to get into it a bit.
Yeah, so we know that the next iteration of the Turtles is going to be the next film is called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, and that's coming out
in the title card, haven't they?
Yeah, that's coming out in 2023, and people are saying online they believe that's tied in with Seth Rogen's version of Turtles rather than this other version. So it looks like Seth Rogen's version sort of like taking over like the Turtles kind of stuff now.
I think that is like the next the next generation of Turtles.
The next iteration, yeah.
The next mutation. Oh no, wait, that was a different series.
I didn't mind that, to be fair.
I loved it as a kid, especially the crossover of Power Rangers in space.
I was all over
Milo, the extra turtle.
Yeah, we got Venus.
The crossover with Power Rangers is my favourite.
Yeah, so the episode in Power Rangers in space, the 2-part, it was a great episode.
I think I said this last week to Ryan. I would love the people that made the Batman Turtles crossover to then the same company to get the rights to do the Power Rangers Turtles Boom Comics like adaptation animated adventure and do it in the same style as the Turtles, look the same as they did in the Batman one.
That'd be cool.
It'd feel like the sequel. Yeah, it would feel like a follow-on then, wouldn't it? It'd feel like a complete story.
Yeah,
a natural progression.
Like it's own little universe, then, isn't it?
I saw those Stranger Things turtle crossovers that you talked about.
Yeah. Playmates.
I don't get it. I just don't get it.
I didn't know they were doing Stranger Things turtles crossovers.
Yeah,
it's same as how they did the awful Cobra Kai crossovers.
Cobra Kai. Yeah.
So it's just made some. Okay.
Yes, sorry, go on.
But at least that made sense to the extent where they all do martial arts. It was kind of like, okay, it's like Turtles versus Cobra Kai. Like Stranger Things versus Turtles makes no sense.
I think it's because like back in the day they did like the Playmates sort of like the Turtles like monsters and things like that. Yeah, so I think it's just in keeping with that kind of thing. Like the Turtles go on adventures with other people.
Yeah, like I was at Comic-Con at MCM with our friend John, who's been on the show, and he bought a Star Trek Turtles because he was a big Turtles collector.
He still is. He's got the whole lot again now.
Has he gone back and got them all again? He would have shown us his collection, but his internet dropped out, and we never got to that part of the show. All right, so while we're talking about figures, let's see what we've had announced. There hasn't actually been much going on in the world of figures, has there?
As for Transformers, we got a big leak list for Transformers, which is really cool. So they're gonna for their legacy line. So there's a huge list of ones that are upcoming, but also like someone's managed to get hold of. So it's the Studio Series A6, which I collect. They're doing a new mold of Ironhide, but like G1 cartoon. Like accurate Ironhide, which would be really cool because that is just one of the best characters in the old cartoon. But they leaked loads, like the listings for loads of other characters, and everyone's sort of trying to speculate what's going to be a remold or what's going to be new. But yeah, they have sort of confirmed because they did kickback from the 3 Insecticons in the Legacy line, which looks awesome, and I'm definitely going to pick him up for my 86 movie shelf. But they've leaked that Shrapnel's coming, so they are basically going to be doing all 3 of the Insecticons, which is really good. And also, it looks like they're going to be doing. They have confirmed they're going to be doing all 5 of the Dinobots in the 1986 movie style as well, which is awesome for me.
Oh, nice.
I'm just talking to myself when I do these bits because I know this is of no interest to either of you. But I just feel like it's Geek Week in Review, and I feel like I have to say these things.
No, I like
someone should
Transformers because as a kid, Transformers was a big part of my collection. Like I loved my Transformers as a kid, but like I'm just trying to look up what you were talking as you were saying it. But I don't know. For me, it's really difficult because I've tried to get my kids into Transformers. I've tried to collect the Transformers myself, but I don't know. For me personally, it's not carried on for me. It's not continued into my adult collection. I don't know why, but I loved my Transformers as a kid. Absolutely loved it. But
yeah, but it's okay to not want to still collect things when you get older. It's okay, man. Let it go.
no, it's
okay.
It's
right.
not. No, but in all fairness,
I'm gonna get like a bit of hunting on you in a minute and be like, it's not your fault, Jake. It's not your fault.
It is my fault.
It's not your fault.
But like Turtles was a huge thing for me as a kid, and Power Rangers and Transformers, as well as like my superhero stuff. But yes, the Marvel stuff just kind of stayed predominant for me, with Star Wars kind of following up. But yeah, I do like the Transformers, but I just find it hard to get excited about them because I don't even know how to say. I don't know. I tell you what it is. Here it is for me. The superhero figures like the Marvel Legends, for example, are a huge upgrade from what I had as a kid, but they're the same characters. Make sense? So it's kind of like I had Spider-Man as a kid and I loved Spider-Man and I played with Spider-Man and all that kind of stuff. But now I get a better version that I can collect. Whereas for me, the Transformers don't feel different. That makes sense.
But you see this guy in 1986?
No, okay, fair enough. They were different, but they don't feel different. Like I'm still doing the same, and I can appreciate the ingenuity and that kind of stuff that goes into them, and the advances in the production of the toys. But they don't do it. I feel like I'm playing with something from my childhood as opposed to playing with a modern version of something from my childhood.
I just could never transform them. You mean you guys saw me try to transform the Dracula one recently, and that was just the biggest flop I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, I won't lie, that was absolutely hilarious. But
that was horrible.
I've got pretty much all the crossovers now. Actually, I got the Dracula one finally. I got it really cheap. I've got the Jurassic Park crossover, the Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, X-Men, Top Gun. Yeah, well, pretty much. I think all of them there.
Nice.
The ones worth having, in my opinion.
Nice. So before we go on to sort of more toy news, there was something else movie-wise that we kind of missed out.
Of course, this is Spinal Tap is getting a sequel. I am very excited.
That would be
that's
cool.
going to be amazing. No, it is. It genuinely is. That's real. I'm not lying.
Is
that's
it
not
really?
a joke. It really is. Yeah.
My God, what is that going to be? Spinal Tap 2, the care home?
no, look it up, man. No, it's coming. Because they've been doing like skits sort of in character and stuff like for a while, I think, on like YouTube and stuff. But yeah, he's coming back. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, man, I'm down for that. But it's like Clerks 3. Clerks 3 is.
Oh God, yeah.
It's kind of like.
I like the trailer a lot.
Yeah, it looks good. It's matured with the audience. That's the thing. Is that the characters have grown and the situations have grown and.
Yeah, this version of the film, like Clerks 3, may as well be called Kevin the Movie, hasn't it? Let's be honest. It's basically that is his life.
Yeah.
He wanted to make a film about.
Was his life at the time, wasn't it? That was he knew. So in that way, it's sort of nice because it bookends. Whereas number 2 was just nuts. But like Clerks 1 was obviously his life when he was trying to be a filmmaker, and he filmed what he knew, the conversations he used to have with his friend about the Death Star, working in dead-end jobs, not knowing where you're going and stuff. And so this one is more, he has said that it's based around when he had his heart attack and when he was sort of, close to being dead. And so what am I doing with my life? Where am I in my life? So, having those kind of concepts. But that's when I think Kevin Smith does his best work there, when he actually does it based on his life or like his own experiences. I think when he goes, say maybe Dogma, I think when he goes out a bit too left field, I think that's when he loses some of his magic. Whereas you got things like Mallrats, for example, is clearly just based on their own experiences, and it's awesome, things like that. So I'm looking forward to the fact that Clerks 3 is more based again back on in Kevin world.
He said in a interview with Den of Geek, I think it was, that if he was writing Clerks now, it probably wouldn't be released because of the internet and because of things like TikTok and YouTube and stuff. And long and short of it, I'm paraphrasing here, but basically saying that there's so many people out there that are talented and funny and all that kind of stuff that have to do it in such a short space of time, that have such huge audiences. If he was sitting there as a filmmaker with the idea of Clerks, he would probably shelve it and kind of never go back to it, which I think it makes you wonder what we're missing out on. Like, we have so much stuff, but what are we missing out on by these people kind of just thinking, oh, what's the point? I'm not going to bother because of everything else that's out there. But I found that really powerful hearing that. And I was just like, wow, Clerks is such an iconic film and sort of so, I don't want to say important, but I can't think of a better word, but to so many people. But yeah, it would never have existed if it was perceived now, which I think is mad.
Well, he was one of the only people that showed geeks on a screen not being nerds, not being, like back in the day.
Mum's basement.
Yeah, like back in the day when they ever showed someone on TV who was into comics, it was usually the little skinny kid with the glasses. I want to live in my basement. No, that crap, wasn't it? Whereas Kevin didn't do that. He just made them regular people, which we are.
Yeah, like Mallrats, Brody's collection is insane, isn't it? His entire basement is just like every comic ever made, and he has like Stan Lee in it as well. Before it was cool to have Stan Lee in your film, he had Stan Lee as like.
Yeah, Stan Lee.
Yeah.
So like even before Marvel were doing their intros, like Stan Lee, your friend's obsessed with superhero junk.
My room is basically the set of 40-Year-Old Virgin. Like, it's literally his bedroom. Like, it's kind of
Have you got a framed Asia poster?
I don't. I used to, but I don't. I don't. But no, I literally look at that and I'm like, that is me. That is me. But I'm not 40 and I'm not a virgin, so.
Does especially hit home when he goes, and now I'm going to paint your red pants blue.
Yep. As someone that customizes figures, I was just like, oh, shit. Because the funny thing is, I've said it out loud. Here painting my figures. I'm kind of like, okay, now I'm going to make your vest green. Yeah, it was very accurate, but inaccurately accurate, which is really bizarre. But no, there is another film that we haven't talked about, and that is, let's go over to the dark side of DC.
Yeah.
And did you guys talk about Batgirl last week?
Not really, not massively.
No,
it wasn't cancelled at the time of our podcast.
No, it wasn't.
It got cancelled like the day after or something.
When we filmed, yeah. And so I obviously more of a DC guy than Marvel, as you know. And
what?
I
get it.
Yeah. No.
You know what?
It's called equal representation, Jake. All right, that's what the show's all about.
Listen. Spoiler alert! I am as much of a fan as DC as I am Marvel.
I know, because we have spoken to death about DC in the past. But like the film wise, so I honestly think it's absolutely disgusting. I really hate as well the misinformation that's going around, because it was cancelled because of basically for a tax break. Like, so basically, that's the reason they shelved the Batgirl film, is because of the way that they were going to release it, like the way what it was made for. Even though it cost 90 million.
Yeah.
And Scoob was complete as well. The Scoob sequel at 40 odd million. It was cheaper for a tax break wise to basically shelve and not ever release those. That's part of the conditions they don't ever release them, is where they get this huge tax break. And that's actually sort of the reason why it was done. It's not everyone, but now everyone's going, it was so bad that they had to take a 90 million loss. Like, no, that wasn't it at all. That's really not it. But it's just that classic thing where people are jumping on it, and it's not in a horrible way. It's a lot of proper Marvel fanboys going, "See, DC can't do anything right," or but then the interesting thing about DC fans as well, there's a lot of people going like, "Guys, just get over it now, okay? Stop going with like Batgirl." It's like you've spent 4 years saying restore the Snyderverse, like,
Yeah.
pick a lane. But I'm gutted because it also looks like a lot of other potential things are in for the chop. So the Harley Quinn animated series is potentially up for not being continued. Peacemaker, some of these really great licenses that we really enjoy. I mean, Grant Gustin's ending, obviously, The Flash, with a 13-episode final season. Gotham Knights, which we saw a trailer for, but I think that's been scrapped already. Basically, anything that's live DC has basically been scrapped. I mean, they haven't confirmed everything yet, so I'm really hoping Harley Quinn and Peacemaker at least maybe survive, because that's my two sort of main things I'd want to go on. I'm gutted for the Batgirl thing because of all the people that worked on it. It was practically finished. Brendan Fraser's Firefly I could not wait to see, and I don't picture. Keaton was back as Batman. The Batgirl costume, despite everybody else thinks, I think looked really good considering the storyline context of what the costume is. Yeah, I'm to be honest, I was genuinely upset. It actually sort of put me in a bad mood for the day when I found out, because I was like, it's shit. It's and I think it's crap that we're in this stage where Hollywood's like, oh yeah, it's better for a tax break. We just cancel the whole thing. So don't worry about that. We're going to go for a new direction.
I just the thing is that makes it sad though is that I don't know. I was just a bit lost for words because I was kind of like, surely it looked so good, it would have made them like a decent amount of money. Like it would have, surely,
it would have at least broken even, and surely that's all they care about.
Yeah, it's just like it. What about Aquaman 2? Where are we at with that?
That's still
ongoing because and so's the Flash so far. But everyone says, you just don't know though. Now, how can you possibly say with any confidence what that studio is going to do? This whole Warner Brothers Discovery merger, I'll be honest, it's made me really disenfranchised with it. Because I'm just like, if this is the attitude you take towards it, I actually don't think you give a shit about these licenses at all. You just care about trying to do another Marvel. I don't want another Marvel. I've got Marvel for Marvel. I want just DC. You know what I mean? Stop trying to make everything Marvel. That's not the way DC will work. DC works better when you actually don't connect everything and you just have your own things. Like the Batman, for example, was incredible, but it doesn't need to be connected to anything because Incredible Joker, masterpiece, doesn't need to be anything. I mean, they just announced obviously they're doing the sequel to that. But who knows what happens to that? But that doesn't need to be connected. And you don't need to connect that to Rob Pattinson's Batman. DC works better when it just does DC films on their own.
Yeah, I find it funny as well that out of all of the Justice League and Batfleck and all that kind of stuff, like Aquaman's the one going strong. It's kind of like Aquaman. You think of DC movies, most people think of Aquaman, which I find really bizarre, but in a good way. I love it. I thought it was a brilliant film. But yeah, I was just really disheartened. So I just thought, you know what, this is something that, like I say, there were so many big sort of names attached to it, and it was practically done, wasn't it? It was practically wrapped.
Yeah, and then it was practically done. And the fact that the fact that they've acted this, which looked good, but yet the Flash, which its main star is in hiding somewhere in Hawaii, is technically a fugitive. But that movie's going ahead.
It's I'm surprised they haven't recast Amber Heard as Mira or whatever.
Well, they actually apparently her role apparently has been greatly reduced in the film, and that one of the things that is changed about Aquaman 2, I should say, is that Affleck has actually confirmed that he's coming back to film stuff for Aquaman 2. So that is something that's been confirmed. So despite the fact that Affleck said he was definitely done with Batman, he filmed stuff for The Flash, and he's now filmed stuff again or is going to film stuff for Aquaman. So no one really knows what's going on anymore.
He's just like that mate that says he's not coming out, but then comes out anyway. No, I'm not coming out tonight. Gets to about 11 o'clock. Oh, where are you? I'm on my way.
That was you at one point,
mate.
I've got so much to. He was like, I've got so much to do tomorrow. Oh, you know, no. And next thing, I'll be in Chicago's, and suddenly Jacob, like, hey, I'm like,
Hey, hey, I'm here.
across the dance floor, like.
It's like, no, see that across the dance floor because I went out with my other friends and I was like, oh no, Ryan's here, quick! Like, oh hey, Ryan, yay! I made it.
Son of a
Yeah.
bitch.
Fair enough. So yeah, I mean, obviously, I didn't want to go on to the Batgirl, but that was something else we need to talk about. But Joker 2. Oh, and Sorrell's gone. I know he's not.
I'm still here.
He's just sorting out his blinds.
Sorry, it gets dark at this time of night. I have to show them because there's loads of weirdos in the area.
I am sort of looking forward to it, but at the same time, I'm concerned because Joker was, to me, like a perfect film, and I never thought it needed more. So I just hope that this is actually like it's more than just a cash grab. I really hope there is a proper, solidly good idea and a really grounded story there. Because, like I said, the first one is perfect. I cannot fault the first one, and I didn't think it was ever going to be. I would say it's the first one, thinking there's going to be a sequel. No. I just really, but my main thought that it will be good is because Wakanda Phoenix absolutely hates doing franchise stuff. Like that's why he dropped out of playing Doctor Strange because he didn't want to be in the whole multiverse and all that, doing lots and lots of films. Because he was obviously the original casting for Doctor Strange. So my theory is for him to do a sequel, it must be really genuinely good. So that's my only sort of what's making me okay about it coming out, and a little bit sort of a little bit hopeful. It's not just a cash grab. Is that he is so picky about things that I'm hoping that he's read the script and gone, yeah, that's fucking brilliant. Okay, we will do a sequel.
I think everyone's seen the title card and seen that Harley's going to be in it, and obviously people are afraid it's going to become the Harley Quinn show because she's everyone's favorite character, or a lot of people's favorite character. I've got a feeling that we won't even see Harley Quinn become the Harley we know in this film. If they keep it in keeping with the first film, I think Joaquin Phoenix is gonna she's gonna be his psychiatrist trying to help him, and then in his fantasy world she's gonna be Harley and Quinn, but in the real world she'll just be Dr. Quinn. But when he sees her, he sees Harley Quinn. You know what I mean? Like the way we see her. I think that's gonna be the whole thing of the whole thing between reality and his imagination and his fantasies.
Like the girlfriend type thing he had in the first film, when it looked like they were a thing and they weren't. But,
yes, they could do that really well with this and make it very dark and quite scary, sinister.
Do you know what I'm really hoping for? And this is maybe a popular or unpopular opinion, but I really hope that we see a true to form Harley Quinn, if that makes sense, because especially as a dad of daughters, Harley Quinn is the popular character that everyone wants to dress up like, or everyone, oh yeah, I like Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn's cool, like yeah. But when you actually know the real story of her and stuff, and you know her backstory and the abuse and all that kind of stuff that goes into it, like she's not a character for little girls, if that makes sense. Like the comic, the animated show,
children dressed in hot pants at fucking conventions, like parents dressing their kids in that hot pants costume from Suicide Squad. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah,
no.
But the animated series version, all that kind of stuff, and like that's for your younger viewers. But I really hope that we see a kind of a true to form Harley Quinn backstory, where people almost come out of it going, well, that's not Harley Quinn. And there's the whole debate of like, no, that is Harley Quinn. That is the Harley Quinn. Like what is the glorified kind of Hollywood version, but this is the one that us comic book readers and us kind of longer term fans,
real world.
This is the real Harley Quinn. It's not a nice story. I kind of agree with what you're saying, Sorrell. I don't think we're going to see Harley Quinn as Harley Quinn. I think that this is very much going to be a continuation of him in Arkham. She's his psychiatrist, but I think it's more that we're going to see the demise of her falling in love with him.
That's what. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, all the twisted nature of the Doctor falling for and all that kind of And I think he's evolved from the character we saw in the first film. I think that he's going to be aware of his mental state and all that kind of stuff, and he will use that to his advantage, and he will, take advantage of her weakness stuff.
What I was thinking was I might not have said it properly. Like, what I'm thinking is like in my head I see it as quite dark. So like he's fantasizing about her. She doesn't necessarily want to be with him, but he is so forceful with it that kind of she's forced along on this adventure with him. And then by the end of it, she falls in love with the captor, because that is the story of Harley Quinn. She's got to fall for him eventually because it's the whole Stockholm syndrome thing. I wonder whether it's going to be a case if he becomes so involved in her life that she eventually sees the sort of like guy within kind of thing or whatever and falls in love with the psycho.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if they're going to, because obviously they're on to the second film and we know how Hollywood works, I'm wondering whether they're going to start peppering in other characters as well in this one. Like they might lay some roots for Pamela Ivy, other characters within Arkham, or Scarecrow, because his character could work quite well in a darker universe like this.
Do you know
I'm really happy with just hints, but I don't want them actually in it, because I don't want any more out of this. I don't want it to turn into a spin-off with.
I know, but sadly that's not how Hollywood works.
I don't think it will either. Yeah. I really don't. But do you know it's listed as a mystery on Google? Like it's listed as a mystery film. And do you know what the title means?
I've not looked it up now.
It means Madness for Two. So it's Joker, Madness 2. And I think that
was
plays in.
Fall Out Boy's album as well, wasn't it?
But I think that plays in perfectly. And when people said Lady Gaga, everyone kind of thinks of her dressed in a meat suit and all the rest of it. But,
American Horror Stories is what I think of now.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like you think of her as an actress, like she's a really, really talented actress, whichever one's politically correct. But, she is very talented as a performer as well. So I think that there's a huge opportunity for her to really, really portray the mad version of Harley Quinn. Because I don't think we've seen. I don't think we've seen it.
And Lady Gaga is she's into that whole weird thing. She could pull off Harley Quinn because she's naturally quite kooky herself in real life.
Oh yeah.
She likes the whole drama of art thing, very much like Madonna. She likes to make a scene. She likes to do something obscure, which is what Harley Quinn is. So it's method in the madness. I think she'll be quite good at that.
And I think that she's got enough credentials about her that the script has to be good for her to tie her name to Harley Quinn.
Especially when Margot Robbie's killing it for like merchandising and sales. Yeah. Every time Margot Robbie touches Harley Quinn, she's making millions. So for someone like Gaga to come along and want to step on that kind of limelight, there would have to be a good script involved.
And especially
I also agree with something we said outside of the Geek we had on our chat. I agree with Ash's thought about there being a musical element, or was it you, Jake? One of you guys said about it. Yeah, but I agree. I think there'll be at least one sort of where, I don't know, Joker's looking at her and then he imagines her on a stage singing something like in the 1950s sort of style or something.
Marilyn Monroe-esque.
Yeah, exactly. Sort of out of context type thing. I think there will be something like that in his warped mind.
Well, I read somewhere that it was like a musical, but I don't know whether that was just somebody taking the piss or whether that was a genuine thing.
Well, the trailer was very musical-esque, wasn't it? It had a lot of.
But I'm thinking, can you imagine?
Bruce Wayne, I killed your parents, and hey, Bruce Wayne.
But no, I mean more like a Baz Luhrmann kind of Moulin Rouge look, feel to it. Do you know what I mean? Like this kind of psychedelic.
Yes, like imagine like she's literally just said happy birthday to him or something because she's his doctor, and then he zones out into this whole Marilyn Monroe happy birthday, Mr. J. You know what I mean? And we see that. That's what I mean. Like we see that Harley Quinn
from this episode, please. Ash singing that.
But you know what I mean?
Just be the clip for it.
I'm changing that to my ringtone.
Because I mean, she would be good at doing. Lady Gaga would be good at doing that kind of Marilyn Monroe singing style as well, because that's her natural dark, like deeper voice, isn't it? She's got quite a bassy voice, so she could play that so well, like Marilyn Monroe style.
But I'm really sticking to my guns. I honestly think that this is going to be about her thing to madness. I think he's going to be much more in control of where he is, and this is going to be her version of the film that we saw for him, and we're going to be seeing. And I think they could even replicate what they did. Can you imagine if we saw it from her point of view? The film was almost from her point of view, and how that big twist at the end, where everything was not quite as he imagined it. But that being from her point of view for this film, and then by the end of it, she realizes that she's just as mad as he is, and that's how they fall in love. And it ends with her and him breaking out. And yeah, I don't know.
all float down here.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it's going to be I think it's going to be amazing. I can't wait for it. I really do. I think it's going to be a sequel that's well worth waiting for.
Definitely.
Hopefully.
We've got a whole year to wait.
Yeah, I know. More immediate, we've got She-Hulk coming on very soon, and they're not even holding back now. That is 100% Daredevil. They're releasing storyboard pictures. They're releasing like close-ups of his helmet and everything.
There's the Wrecking Crew.
Yeah, do you see my little Instagram post about that?
I saw your little cheeky post.
Not a lot of people have talked about that. I'm really surprised. That I haven't.
Quite cool.
As many people were talking about that. I think so many people talk about Daredevil. There's so much that people aren't talking about.
Well, I think because I think they knew that. I think they kind of decided to show Daredevil because so far a lot of people are going, nah, it's She-Hulk, I might watch it. But now that they've thrown Daredevil in and confirmed he's definitely in this program, everyone's going to tune in just because it's Daredevil.
Oh yeah,
and it's going to be his like I know he was in Spider-Man. This is going to be his first proper, like acting thing for Disney, isn't it? So
it is, yeah. I just think that there's a lot that looking at how Marvel do stuff, they have shown us 5 minutes of the whole series. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, all of the fight scenes look like they're taking place in the same episode. All of the kind of montage scenes look like they're taking place in the same episode. And I think there is going to be so many more layers to this show that it's going to be one of these ones where people are going to kind of look back at the end of it and go, I was not expecting that. Like that was so much better than I thought. Yeah, I'm excited for it. But things like Abomination's in it and Wong is in it, so clearly they're gonna talk about that relationship and how they end up in Shang-Chi and stuff. Like there's so many layers to this show. That
have you gone back and watched the end credit scene from Shang-Chi since all like the Multiverse of Madness stuff's come out? Have you ever gone back and rewatched it?
Yeah, like their version of Illuminati kind of thing.
It makes so much more sense now. No, like when they're on about his bangles and stuff, and it makes so much more sense now that we've seen more of the story. Back then, it seemed very like, what was that? But now you've watched more of the story, it makes more sense.
And especially now you know what's coming in Phase 5 and Phase 6 stuff with the Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, no, I'm excited for it. And we've also got Black Panther coming in November as well. And we've spoken about the trailer, but a lot more talk is going on about who that is in the Black Panther suit that we see.
It's been confirmed by Lego because once again Lego have spoiled it.
Nah, yeah, I know where you're going with this, with Shuri in the Black Panther.
No, not Shuri.
Oh,
it wasn't Shuri in the Lego set.
Oh! Do I want to hear this? Right, massive spoilers ahead.
I'm not saying it. I'll let everyone else go and make their discovery. But
Google it while we're on.
Yeah, Lego once again decided to be a dickhead and be like, "We keep nothing under wraps. Look what happens in the film." Just be like,
we are Lego. We don't give a shit. Here's a big spoiler. It's like...
We're Lego. We can literally help you build a bridge to get over it.
I like how we do these moments. I love that we do these moments on the program where you just see me and Jacob just zone out and just start Googling.
Like, hang on.
Yeah, but it was there was a Lego set and it showed who was in. The thing is, there might be more than one person wearing a Black Panther suit in the film, so it might not be the only time. We don't know because we haven't seen the film yet, but it did show someone wearing the Black Panther suit.
Oh man, Paul Rudd is coming back as Black Panther. That is ridiculous.
No
there's so many images. Why have I not? I've avoided the Lego. I've avoided it.
Yeah. To be fair, you could have kept avoiding it because I wasn't going to say who it was. I'm just letting everyone else discover them themselves.
What? I avoided the Lego sets for this exact reason, but I'm on Lego.com now, so I
think it's not even a set they've officially shown yet. I think it's someone else's. I think it's one of those things where because Lego just don't seem to have any prevention of leaks whatsoever. They seem to be the most leak easy company in the world because people just somehow get the pictures of the box art.
It's almost like Lego go, oh no, I hope nobody sees these images on this open computer and steals them.
Yeah. Oh no, I left this box of unreleased sets just in the supermarket. My bad.
Oh, it generally does just literally show the figure, doesn't it? Oh my god.
Yeah, like doesn't even hide it.
Where am I looking? Why can't I find this?
Oh, for the love of God, Ash, send him a link and put him out his misery. I feel like we need to take him outside and put him down.
I'm looking at all these different Lego sets.
MCU the Direct. Go on. I'm on Twitter and I found it on MCU the Directs.
Hang on. I'm just having a look.
He was saying, hold on to the entire audience then. Audience, hold on.
Jacob's just looking into this.
So you guys talk. Who do I talk?
Okay, so have you seen the second trailer for Andor, the new trailer?
Yes.
It looks so good. Obviously, we're getting in September now, which is nice to have that sort of delay. Because
3 episodes start as well.
I know. Like, what the shit? Like, I'm well excited for it. Genuinely. I actually almost think I'm more excited about this than Obi-Wan. If I'm being completely honest. Like,
I like it when we get Star Wars without the Jedi, but I do like it when we get a good like Marine style story and like Rebels, and I like that kind of stuff.
And just seeing more of the Empire, like a different part of the Empire somewhere else. I mean, that's what I really like. Empire era is my Galactic Empire is my favorite era, and that seeing like some of the other things, and also seeing like what we know as the Mud Trooper from Solo, but actually seeing it more repurposed like a Riot Troopers, like almost like in like riot gear, like. One thing that's really funny, a lot of people have been moaning about some of the guns from the trailer, being like, it's just an AK-47, but, with the thing on it. It's like, but if you look at all of the Star Wars guns, they're all actual guns with just extra kibble on them. Like, someone actually did a really good post, and they went through it. It was like Stormtrooper Blaster. It's actually a British blah, blah, blah machine gun rifle thing with one bit added on the top. This is the... And someone just listed every single one of them. Han Solo's blaster is basically...
That's it. Han Solo's Luger, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just a Luger with a thing on the end of it, and a scope.
Yeah, a bit extra.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just really funny. A lot of people are going butthurt because they recognise an AK-47. It's like, just because you recognise the one gun, I mean, like, here's a biscuit. Like, that doesn't mean that it's rubbish because they actually all of them are based on guns. Which is funny how people get. But I think it looks amazing. I mean, we get some obviously new droids that it looks like in there. You get to see more and more Mothra in the start of it. Skarsgård's in it, which, let's be honest, he's always good value for money. It just looks, Saw Gerrera, exactly. I mean, I didn't see that coming, I'll be honest.
I didn't, to be honest. I didn't think they were going to put him in this, because obviously he's on Thingy Planet still, isn't he? Fighting the Empire, but that's where this is going to be based by the looks of it, for some of it.
Yeah. So obviously he's not going to meet, Andor and him aren't going to interact, because obviously they don't know who each other are in Rogue One, but obviously it's going to have a lot to do with his way of screwing things up, should we say. But I'm really looking forward to it. I think the new trailer just made me even more excited.
Yeah, I don't know his official name, but that alien that hangs around with Saw Gerrera, everyone calls him Two Tubes. He's back as well, isn't he? With his great big rifle.
Well, he was also in Solo.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Of course he is.
As is the character that sits in Watto's box that Warwick Davis plays, Weasel. It's quite funny that he reprises his role from episode 1 in Solo. That's one of the people at the end. Jake, have you found this bloody thing yet?
No.
Seriously, send them the link. I can't deal with this anymore.
Oh, one thing that I will say.
Everyone's logged off.
Send me the link. Madam Web is filming as well, isn't it, at the moment?
It is.
And what's his name? Adam Scott from Parks and Recreation has been seen on set, dressed very similar to Peter Parker, and he's the Peter Parker I never knew I needed. Like, I am so hoping that we are going to get him as Peter Parker in Madam Web, but there isn't a lot to.
Well, the great thing about Madam Web and the whole Spider-Verse is it could be a Peter Parker from any world. So they don't necessarily have to continue with our Peter Parker story that we know from the films. It could be a completely new Parker from a completely different dimension.
It might be a Peter Parker that's not even Spider-Man.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm hoping that they use that Madam Web as a way of introducing us to like the next generation of Spider-Man, though. I'm hoping this is where we see Spider-Gwen and Miles Morales at some point. Or at least the introduction of their characters somehow.
It's not that far away, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Did you send him the link?
I sent him the link.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, it's Shuri.
Yeah. It is Shuri.
That's what I said at the beginning. Are you having a
It's the Shuri set with Neymar.
I've made Jake quit. I'm not even sorry. He's looked at so many pictures.
We did keep him on the. Well, I said we did keep him on the edge there for quite some time.
I know. That's why I was just going to get.
Even I didn't say anything. I knew damn well it was Shuri, but I just thought I'm going to let this run for a little longer.
Send the link and he'll be fine. He's not coming back. Right, that's all we got time for on the Geek Week review. I am Ryan. Jacob's Toys has quit forever. So join us never again. This is the end of the Geek Week, thanks to the way we accidentally made Jake quit. So, episode 60 is the last episode of all time.
I needed to take a breather there. I can't believe you had me looking for so long. You guys.
Ash just went along with it. Brilliant.
You guys. Yeah, but see, in all fairness, people have been saying it's Shuri for ages because if you actually look closely at the there's loads of things that play into it. So just quickly for anyone that wants to know. So in Black Panther, the Black Panther film, when she gives him the upgraded suit, there's the gold necklace. And that's the one that Shuri likes more than T'Challa. But that's the one that Killmonger obviously takes in the end and makes his suit. But his suit has gold kind of extensions or whatever you want to call it. And the Black Panther that we see for a split second has got the gold extensions. But if you look really carefully, it's also got like the panther on the arm. Have you seen that? Like the mouth of the hand coming out of the mouth. And that's very similar to her blaster thing. So, but my theory is that we're going to have more than one Black Panther in the film, that we're not going to have two.
I agree.
I don't think that she's going to carry the mantle. I think she's going to wear it, but I don't think she's going to carry it. I think we're going to have someone else. And I don't know whether it's a character that we've seen yet.
I wondered if it was Black Panther's sort of love interest from, I can't remember what character's name is.
Nakia.
Yeah, I wondered if she might. Yeah, wondered if she might have done it.
Well, there's a lot of talk about that. That would be quite. There is a lot of talk about that. I don't know how to feel about that, to be honest with you.
I'm sticking with my feeling of that, like, Shuri might put it on when the Atlanteans turn up because she feels she has to fight them. But I don't think she's going to, I think she's going to put the suit on. I don't think she's going to go through the whole rigmarole of taking the special fruit and go into that other plane and seeing her father and T'Challa and all that. I don't think she's going to go through that. I think she'll just shove the suit on very quickly as a way of saying, right, I'll take them, I'll defend us, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to get beaten badly.
And I think that's the scene that we see. I think that's the scene we see in the
then I've got the feeling she's going to do that. They're going to do that whole cheesy thing of, yes, Black Panther, the mantle's there, but they don't need it because they're their own people. They're their own heroes in their own right, kind of thing. They don't need that power.
No,
that was T'Challa's power, and that's him, and he's gone. And they're kind of moving on, kind of thing.
No, see, I disagree. I do think someone's going to take the mantle, but I don't think it's going to be someone we've seen necessarily, because all of the characters that we've seen have a reason for not carrying it. And even though obviously it's incredibly sad what happened to Chadwick Boseman and T'Challa as the character and stuff, but there were Black Panthers before him, and there were Panthers after him. So I don't think they'll hang the mantle up at that stage. I think that the way that they're going to bring in a new Black Panther will be very well done. I think it will be somebody that we haven't necessarily seen yet, but has always been there. That's my feeling.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one, because they wouldn't it's too profitable. They wouldn't get rid of the Black Panther franchise. It's such a big one, and it was also like it was at the best sort of film for the black community as well. It was such a huge thing, and I think to close that off, because it is tragic what happened to Shaman Predator, but to close that world off almost, and that storyline and that mantle of Black Panther, that superhero, because of that, I think it'd be counterproductive. I think they should carry it on.
Now, Black Panther's my youngest son's favorite character. Absolutely loves him. He's got the suit. He's got the toy. Absolutely loves him. But I just think it'll be someone else, and I don't know. I don't know yet. I really don't know. I just can't wait for it. I'm so hyped for it. I really am so hyped for it.
Do you think we're going to hear of a young Aurora Monroe in this film? Do you think we're going to hear the name mentioned, or do you think we're going to get any form of subtle hint of Storm?
I don't know. There was a lot of talk because supposedly Beyonce was in this.
Oh God.
There was talk about Beyonce being cast in this ages ago, ages and ages and ages ago, and everyone was like, "Oh, she's playing Storm. She's Storm." But I don't know. I don't know, because in the comic books, obviously, she marries T'Challa, and there's that whole, So I don't know.
I just wonder whether they could do it as a way of paying homage to the character without having to go down the route of just have her being a character from Wakanda, to tie her into the MCU verse and give us some form of link to Black Panther without going down the storyline of being his love interest and stuff.
I think what is interesting is I was wondering how they were going to explain the absence of T'Challa, but clearly in the film he died as well. But and that's interesting, because they could have made it that he'd gone off somewhere or done something, or there would have been different ways of doing it. But that seems to be a pivotal part of the film, and I think that's why the next person that carries the mantle is going to be, there's going to be something significant about it. I don't know. I really don't know at the moment.
I don't think it'll be Shuri, just because I know she carried it in the comics, but her modernized character that the kid that the reading today that kids are used to, Shuri's just her own character. She's not Black Panther anymore, really. She puts the suit on occasion, but she's more her own person now.
Yeah, and I think they're going to play much more on the friendship between her and Riri.
Yeah, her and Riri.
That's going to be the powerful kind of relationship there. What is interesting though is they announced the Black Panther wave, which included the Everett Ross legacy figure as well, which was a really bizarre sideways version of putting him in, because the legacy figures are in the clear window boxes, but that one's in a cardboard box. It doesn't even fit in with the other figures. But what was interesting is on the table there was that Shuri figure, but she's not in the wave. So my personal thoughts is that whoever it is that becomes Black Panther is going to be in a 2-pack with that Shuri figure, or a Riri Williams figure is in a 2-pack with that Shuri. But that Shuri has got to come one way or another at some point between now and November, because we saw her on the table, didn't we? And we were saying, "Oh, who's that one in the purple?" But it looked like Shuri. So I think there are more figures to come, and I think there's definitely more that we haven't seen in the trailer. That's my personal opinion. While we talk about Marvel Legends, let's round the show off with a little bit of chat about that, because there is a live stream announced. They waste no time. Let's be honest. They literally waste no time, and how they expect anyone to budget for anything is beyond me. It is absolutely beyond me, because people are just recovering from the San Diego Comic-Con pre-orders and whatnot, and they've announced a live stream. My personal...
I said I'm staying away. I got Madam Hydra.
You went out and bought a new one. Sorrell is back to the Marvel Legends.
I had to get a Madam Hydra.
Yeah, man, she's a cool character. She's there in my little collection there with my Hydra set up. Got her next to Red Skull.
she looks awesome at the side of Baroness from G.I. Joe. Them two characters, for some reason, just they look awesome stood next to each other. I looked at them side by side in the packaging. They're just, I don't know, they just complement one another.
Yeah, that power couple. But so the Marvel Legends have obviously got a live thing. So predictions. My prediction is it's going to be the HasLab announcement. That's mine.
What would they not save the HasLab for the big convention?
No, see,
I reveal at the con.
I think
no, because I think they'll want to have stuff at the con about it. So I agree with Jake. They'll show, reveal, announce it now, and they'll have something to show at the convention.
I think, how long do they usually let them run for? Like 40, 45 days, something 40, like that?
Yeah, something like that. Oh, so yeah. Between now and the convention.
Beginning of August, or the 10th of August is when this live stream is. The gates open after the live stream. It would literally take you up to the convention for them to announce it being backed. And they'll have a product to show you and everything like that. So my prediction is that we're going to have a HasLab to back this week.
I concur.
Which version of Ghost Rider are you hoping it's going to be?
All of them.
Yeah. You're not even far off. I think we're definitely going to get the Hell Charger with what's his name? Completely forgot his name. Robbie Reyes. I was like, Danny Glover was coming into my head. Danny Glover is not
Vin Diesel.
Yeah. But no, I think it's definitely going to be a Robbie Reyes and Hell Charger. I think that's going to be the main thing, because thinking about it from a marketing point of view, if they put that out, people will back it. Like there are collectors that will back it. Yeah. I think the tiers would potentially be other Ghost Riders, or potentially like an updated Johnny Storm on the Hell Cycle, or even we could go down Vengeance, or we could go down the Caretaker, or there's so many variations that we could have, but I think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether we're going to get because like we've already had like a couple of the Cosmic Ghost Rider. We've already had the regular sort of Ghost Rider on the bike. We've already had like those characters done for us in the Rider series. It's going to have to be the Hell Charger to make it worthy of being, a HasLab.
Yeah, I would go as far as saying, because the thing is with the Johnny Blaze one that we've got is that people like it, but they don't like it. Like, it's a great Riders figure. I absolutely adore it, but it's not the Hell Cycle. It's not the bike that we want, if that makes sense. There's a better version of bike out there. I would go as far as saying that we're going to get the Hell Charger and we're going to get the Hell Cycle, and you're going to get Robbie and you're going to get Johnny, and that's your kind of main HasLab project, because I don't think they're going to drop price. I think they're going to be looking at kind of the £300 to £400 mark, and so they're going to give us more as in separate items as opposed to one big thing. So where we've had the Sentinel, we've had Galactus, and then everything else was additional. I think they're going to kind of go, look, here's a Hell Charger, here's the Hell Cycle, here's this figure,
like
here's this figure, this figure. Yeah, like a big box set. This is 350 quid, and there's tiers to come. And then the tiers could literally be like another Ghost Rider, or interchangeable heads, or additional weapons and stuff. But there were also
lights for the flames.
Oh, can you imagine? But there were additional little things as well at San Diego Comic-Con. So there was like a tire iron just randomly out, like a grey unpainted tire iron. There was a chain that looked very reminiscent of Robbie Reyes chain. So that they were dropping subtle little hints. So yeah, it's definitely Ghost Rider related, and I think if they do what I think they're going to do, I think it's going to be one of the most talked about HasLab projects to date for Marvel. Anyway, I think it's going to exceed the Sentinel and Galactus. I just hope because with the Sentinel, it was like 6,000 backers were needed, or 8,000 backers. It was really low numbers, and they smashed that within like 24 hours. And then there was all these tiers being released. But then with Galactus, we kind of covered it, didn't we? Week on, week on. They put a much higher minimum backer, and it only right at the end sort of got that got that traction, didn't it? But yeah, I don't know. But that's my prediction for what's coming on Wednesday. Failing that, if it's not a HasLab project, I think it will be, or even in addition, it will be a Black Panther 2-pack or something Black Panther related. And that's the wrap. That's and that's all. Back to the studio.
And that's
yeah,
all,
so that's
folks.
that's my thing. Any different ideas?
I'd like it to be the HasLab, but I'd like it to be. I've always been a big fan of like the caretaker version of Ghost Rider on the horseback, or the was he called Nighthawk, Captain Nighthawk or something? The Native American chief version of Ghost Rider as well. Like I'd love like one of the horseback ones, because we've not had a good horse figure for such a long time.
Yeah,
it would be cool to get like the caretaker one with the flame mane and stuff like that.
We've also got
that was like my favorite scene of the original Ghost
riding
film,
inside of him.
Cage one, when they did to the song Ghost Riders.
But there's also as well, you got to remember this guy's Kushala as well, the modern Ghost Rider. That's the comics written by Taboo and BL, like, you know, we talked about that before, and that's very much the Ghost Rider of the stories at the moment. So they could even put out a version of her as like as a tier, or even as a base figure. There's so many options, and I think the fact that it's coming up to an anniversary, I think it's the 50th anniversary, that it's got to be something significant. It's got to be.
I love that.
My other thoughts on this is that we might see, because we're coming up to the Halloween period, we know that Star Wars did a couple of cheeky little Halloween figures. It could be completely out of left field, but I wonder if Marvel's ever thought about releasing some of their other darker characters for Halloween.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I mean, the Ghost Rider would fit in nicely into that.
Well, there is actually some really random ones that they could use for Halloween, to be fair. Like, there's the one that's from Spider-Ham's universe. Isn't he a duck rider and things like that? Like, there's loads of random little comic-y characters they could use. But I'm just wondering whether we'll see a re-release of I forgot his name, the Jack-o'-lantern character from Spider-Man, and because they're on a massive Spider-Man kick right now, a re-release of his character could be amazing.
Man, he's literally called Jack-o'-lantern.
He's called Jack-o'-lantern, I thought he was. But a re-release of his figure. I mean, I've got the original one as well from back in the day.
His figure is dated. The Hasbro version of his is dated. It's got ball joint hips, and there's even older versions of him as well, with like a light up skull and a light up head and everything like that. So he could definitely do a re-release without a doubt.
Yeah. And the only other thing that I thought of, maybe we might see some pipeline stuff rather than them actually give us anything concrete now, like show us something off. I wonder if we're going to get a bunch of pipeline stuff, like where they want to go, like in the future, maybe answer some of the stuff that we've been sort of saying as creators and stuff.
Yeah, that is true.
Because there has been a lot of sort of people talking out about Hasbro and stuff. I wonder if they might take, because they're quite charismatic guys, they could get away with it. I wonder whether they might take 10 minutes to sort of have a chat with the audience and just sort of give their 2 pence on it.
I wonder whether, because I think it was Dan put out on Twitter and said something about having your wallets ready for August.
He did.
But I wonder whether they're going to release anything this is why I'm saying HasLab, because I can't imagine they're going to put a lot out for you to pre-order or purchase in August when you've got the big PulseCon in September. And if last year's anything to go by, that was when a lot of stuff came out. And we've just had that massive Venom pack as well drop on Amazon as well, just literally last week, which is insane and awesome. Yeah. And I'm all over it. Straight away from Amazon US, because Amazon UK didn't get it. But it was really reasonably priced as well. Like even from Amazon US with tax and shipping and everything like that, it still came in at £85 for 3 big figures, which was insane when you think the Null and Venom with wings was 90 odd quid. So yeah, isn't
it because all 3 figures are technically repacks though? They're just re-decos.
Mate, Marvel Legends Hasbro, 90% of what they're putting
Oh
out.
yeah, of course it is. Yeah, everything's a redeco right now, isn't it?
It
is across all lines. It isn't just. It's across all companies. There's a lot of redecos going on right now.
Shall I tell you what really, as a collector that's been collecting for a number of years now as well, the thing that made me really notice how many repaints and repacks are coming out is that for the first time in a long time, I've actually thought, do I just sell off anything pre 2016 because they're just redoing them? Like, do I literally just clear out and just keep the new stuff because they are re-releasing stuff? And it's things like Sentry, figure is one that I've held on to because it was really cool and they've re-released it. And I'm like, fuck it. I'll just pick a year, get rid of everything from that year and before, and just get the new versions as they come out. But
I think for other collectors that would be easy because they could just do that. Whereas like the likes of me and you have to hold on to these god awful figures because we know that in 6 months we're going to get a new one and we want to do that video where we go, look side by side.
Oh, I know. That is one thing that my collection allows me to do, but I like the old versions. But yeah, so that's my prediction anyway. I reckon that Wednesday is going to be HasLab.
I'm gonna put my vote in now, and I am gonna say Gamerverse Midnight Suns.
Ooh,
that's not far off now, is it?
Ooh,
and they've already had a lot of trailers and stuff where they could make figures from it very easily, all in them yellow and black suits. It would be one mold for a lot of them with different heads. Let's be brutally honest. Yeah. And anything to release a new Wolverine.
Yeah. That's it. Wolverine would be a tier on the HasLab project. Ghost Rider Wolverine that you never had, but you always wanted. Ghosterine. But yeah, no, that'd be a cool wave. That would be a cool wave.
So we've not had a Gamerverse wave in a while, and Midnight Suns is on the way.
That would be all right, actually. I'd get behind that.
A lot of people are excited for the game. So I wouldn't see much kickoff at that because of the characters everyone likes, and there's a Ghost Rider in that game as well. So
if they're going to do it, they need to release it before the game drops, because the same as the Avengers figures, they were very popular and people bought them, but then the game came out and everyone hated it.
So yeah, the game comes out on the 7th of the 10th, and we're looking at August. So if they got these figures, if these figures were ready to go, and that's why they're going to talk about them because they've got them all in hand to talk about. They could drop them in time for the game release or on release day. And the characters from the game are Wolverine, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Blade, Scarlet Witch, and Ghost Rider.
Yeah, the first few figures you listed are ones that I think have been done to death. I mean, I don't collect.
That's the thing. They've got the molds. It would literally be repaints, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It would be a very easy wave to knock together for them out of recent molds. That's what I'm trying to say. It would be a very easy win wave for them.
Yeah. All right, so you're saying Midnight Suns. I'm saying HasLab. I'll say HasLab. Ryan, you gonna say anything different or?
No.
All right, fair enough.
It's a world I'm not invested in at all. So I didn't even know there's a game you're talking about. I was sitting there going like, yes, yellow is a color.
Name something Marvel related that you know, and we'll see if that happens on Wednesday.
Okay, let's Superman. Go into the world of obscurity on set. I reckon
Black
Iron Man.
He thinks like Iron Man related. I tell you what, if it's saying Iron Man related on Wednesday, I'm just. Oh, I don't know. I was going to say I'm selling up, but I'm not. That'd be a lie.
Not. You never sell up.
Cool. So Iron Man, HasLab, and Midnight Suns. Cool. That's a really kind of left field kind of trio of things. I'm excited.
Put lots of thought into mine. Got a lot of thought there.
But Iron Man is one of the most produced figures in Marvel Legends, so you're probably not far off.
Probably not far off.
I think he's the 3rd or 2nd most produced figure. I did a poll
of all time.
Months ago. Yeah, I literally did a poll of 6 or 7 months ago. Spider-Man came out.
Actually, I will change my answer to Wolverine, Spider-Man, or Iron Man. Because I am not a Marvel editor, I will go based on the law of averages that will be related to those three.
It relates to one of those three.
At least one of those three. So yeah, there you go. That's Ryan's prediction.
No, it's cool. Well, before we do round up, speaking of Spider-Man, I'm getting all my Beyond Amazing stuff arrived tomorrow, I think. Should have been with me a couple of weeks ago, but I was on holiday, so it got delayed. And I cannot wait.
Is that the 3-pack that everyone hates?
No, I got what have I got coming? Iron Spider, Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man, Spider-Man Noir from Into the Spider-Verse. Yep.
In my head, that's Spider Cage.
Spider Cage. The Ned and Peter 2-pack, the Null and Venom 2-pack. I think that's it. I think it's about 7 or 8 Spider-Man related figures.
Oh, is that all?
Arriving at my house tomorrow, which is insane. Cool. Anything else before we sign off, gents?
I'm really tired.
Ryan is literally checked out. Ryan is like, I'm done. You had me until 11 and you've gone over your time.
Look, we get
millions.
I can smell what you're cooking there, Ash.
Joe, it is like the best rock figure I've ever owned in my life. The likeness is actually really good. It is very fun, this figure. And literally, as soon as I got it, I'm like, yeah, I'm putting it straight in the can you smell what the rock is cooking pose? And that's how he's going to be on my wall.
Love it. Is it McFarlane?
It's a McFarlane. It's a decent figure as well. We're only 20 quid. 20 quid.
Yeah.
Cheaper
Does
than
look
all
decent,
Marvel.
actually, to be fair.
That's pretty cool. I need a Peacemaker.
Oh, I love Peacemaker. I've got a Peacemaker.
Everyone needs a Peacemaker.
John Cena.
Yeah.
That sounds almost threatening when you said that, Ryan. Everyone needs a Peacemaker.
They do, for truth and justice. That's why.
So next week we'll talk about what the HasLab project was. I'm that confident we will talk. No, next week we'll talk about what the Marvel Live was. And obviously if there's anything else that pops up in the world of geekness, we'll go over that as well. Thanks very much for sticking around, listening, watching, etc. geekweekinreview.co.uk for all of those socials, including myself and the gents. Which leaves us with one thing to say. Till next week, keep it geek.
The Geek Week in Review.